Welcome to the PPA Tour. Hannah Johns here with James Ignatowich. Obviously, a lot of drama in Las Vegas, our last tournament on tour. Biggest news of the tournament, your ankle roll, which is not something we were expecting. But how are you feeling?
I'm feeling not good, to be honest. It's weird. I've rolled an ankle. I played basketball a lot, like for 3 years. I've rolled, each ankle at least like 3 times. And this is the one that is just like, it's so much worse. I don't really know why. For those who don't know, you should check out the video of me rolling it because it's a great way to roll it. It was 10-9 in the first game. Me and Matt were down, I think. And DJ hit like an off-speed forehand speed up to my backhand, and I hit him with it. Like I just hit it. I hit him like right in the chest or something. But then right as I did that, like my ankle rolled and I went straight up, and that part's lame. But the fact that I bagged DJ while hurting my ankle is my favorite part about it. And I think my mistake was that I tried to play through it. So I played, the whole second game through it, and I was trying to hide that it was hurting. And I think my adrenaline was so high that it didn't really hurt that much during the match. But then after the match, I could not walk, and I tried to walk, and it just hurt so much, and it just kept getting worse that I just figured, okay, I'm making money now in a sport called pickleball. I probably shouldn't I shouldn't make this any worse. I'm already lucky to be here. So I'm just going to, let Ben and Colin have the win this time, Yeah. I know they were scared, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, obviously we're all learning now. We need to save our bodies, right? Because you guys are making massive contracts, and it's way, way more worth it to sit back and let one match go, one title go in order to play for years in the future. So what did the doctor, I'm curious, what did the doctor tell you when you were like, so I sprained it and I continued to play matches?
Yeah, that wasn't good. Well, so I met with my trainer, and he said that it was a grade 2 sprain, he thinks. So that means that there's some there's a little bit of tearing. So like a grade 1 sprain is I've had those. I've played after a week or so. But a grade 2, it's he thinks I'll be out for 5 or 6 weeks.
Is there anything medical out there, braces, supports, structures that you can put on to help it at least be a little bit more stable if you do try to play through it? Are there any solutions?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to put I'll tape it up. I mean, my trainer was giving me all this advice. I wasn't really listening. I'm not good at listening. You just have to ask Anna. It's not my strength.
She's got the list of everything you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, she'll handle it.
Is she taking care of you? Is she like the nurse, or is she like, you're fine, get over it?
Oh, she's taking care of me too much. I'm leave me alone. I'm fine.
Oh, is she there with you right now?
She was just here, but now she's I don't know what she's doing right now. It's pouring outside. I think she's probably gonna get me some food or something nice.
Well, it's one perk of being hurt. The partner comes through.
Oh yeah.
So what were the emotions when you realized you weren't going to be able to play through, and more than that, not be able to play your final with Anna?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough because it's I had gotten through the matches that I was supposed to win. So then all the pressure was off. It was okay, now I'm here. I got Ben and Colin in the semis, Ben and Annalie in the final. Now it's just I can have fun, play my game. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. That's the best part of the tournament is once you get to the final or the semi, and it's you're playing against the best teams. So it was tough to be hurt in that situation because I really wanted to play through it. But I also pretty quickly realized I can't even hide this limp at all. I'm limping so obviously, and it hurts so much to hide it that I know if I go out there, I'm just going to get picked on because I can't move. Mm-hmm. And I would just Matt was oh, well, what if you play the right and just, I'll just play the left and just speed everything up and we'll see what happens. I'm well, they're going to see that I'm limping and they're just going to dink to me. It's just not, right. Ben and Colin are smart, right? So there was no chance really. And so it was tough, but it's hard to be really upset when I'm out there making money playing pickleball. It's you know what? I'm not really upset too often. So.
Sure. Yeah, it was fun. You said something about you're happy, you would have been satisfied just to be in the final. That's an interesting concept because I think it varies for every player, right? There's a point at which in each tournament where you decide I'm happy with what I've achieved in this tournament, even if it's not the title. And obviously when you're a player just starting out, it's maybe just making through one round, right? And maybe that's even what, you or Anna making it through 2 or 3 rounds in the beginning was something that you saw as success. Obviously that's changed a lot. You guys are now one of the best teams in the world. So what does success look like for you now? At what point do you become satisfied with a performance?
That's the problem, you don't want to be satisfied because it's tough. So 2 years ago, right when I was getting started playing, I was so generally unsatisfied, with my life. So
sorry, I laughed.
No, it's fine. Me too. I just wasn't. Yeah. So I just wasn't that happy, and my life just wasn't good. And I was like, okay. Well, I just started playing pickleball, and I loved pickleball, and I loved playing. And I was like, man, if I could just do this for a living instead of having to do a 9 to 5, I would just be so happy. That would be amazing. And I never thought that it would actually be a thing because 2 years ago it was there was 10 people that were actually making money playing pickle, and I would watch them play, and I was like, those guys are way too good. I'm never gonna, I have too much of a life to ever get that good at something like pickleball. That was my real thought at the time. And then now it's I got to the point where I'm making money, right? The MLP thing is I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, right? But it's a 3-year deal, right? Everybody's on that. And I'm at a point where I'm way more satisfied with my life. So it's tough to be, but I have to not be satisfied because I want to keep working hard and I want to keep doing the right things. But it's tough because so much of my motivation to get better before came from that sense of insecurity. Oh gosh, I need to make something happen or else it's not gonna work. But now that's kind of gone. The survival element of it is gone. So it's I have to keep working hard somehow. And that's kind of what I'm figuring out now. It's how do I keep working even though I am pretty satisfied and generally happy with what I have?
That is really interesting. I've never heard anyone describe it like that. But yeah, if you become almost happy with your life, you lose the hunger to some extent. Mm-hmm. And, you hear about all these pro athletes who, they get married, they get fat, and their career tanks, right? But
yeah, exactly.
Where's the middle ground there, right? You stay hungry, but also happy.
It's weird. Yeah. Tough because you want to be happy. And yeah. And I'm happy now. And I'm oh, well, I kind of want to just, eat some ice cream, just hang out. But I'm not going to do it. I think that's the thing. That's the challenge. And it's almost a better challenge because it's almost easier to work hard when you're I was so motivated by just really not wanting to work a 9 to 5. And now, and I also now it's okay, I don't have as much of that motivation, and it's almost harder to work hard, which makes it even more of a worthy challenge. It's now I have to be just so self-disciplined. It has to just come from me because it's not really, necessary as much for me to work all day and be so focused.
Well, technically, I suppose with the contracts that we now have for all these players, 150 players, y'all could just lose first round and still make a decent living for the next 3 years.
I know. And that's why it's tough.
Don't let the sponsors hear this. No, I know you're going to keep that hunger alive. You're an athlete, you're a competitor. You'll find your ways of inspiring yourself. And I think you can probably have some ice cream once in a while. You're not looking too weighty these days. I think you'll be all right. But tell me about playing with Matt Wright. Obviously, he's been with Riley for so long. He's now had the chance to swap it up, play with a few new people. What was that like?
That was awesome. It was awesome. When I was first starting to play pickleball, I was good at singles and not good at doubles at all. And I didn't like doubles because I would just, I would watch pro doubles and everybody's just dinking everything. Nobody's, it just looks so boring. I didn't want to do it even. And then I watched Matt and Riley play Atlanta PPA May 2022, and they beat Ben and Colin in 5 games. And they were just speeding up everything. It was like they were being loud, and like there was a bunch of people in the comments like, "Oh, these guys are mean," and like I was like, "This is the best thing ever." So I watched that match, and I was like, "Dang, I want to play doubles like that." And that's really what made me start to like doubles and start to play doubles. And I really liked watching them play, and I was playing a lot of doubles at that point. And yeah, that was the team that I liked to watch play. I think Matt, so then being able to play with Matt was so cool, because I was like, wow, like this is kind of like, it's all coming full circle. And he's just so good at pickleball. It's crazy. Like, I mean, he's 47 years old, and he's just like, it's incredible. Like, his hands are so good. I would hit bad dinks sometimes by accident, and they would attack Matt, and he would just be like, see ya, and he's out there like, it's awesome. Like, he's talking trash. Like, we played against DJ and Deckel, and like him and DJ are going back and forth, and Matt's like twice his age, right? And Matt is just like, it's just the best thing ever. So yeah, he's so intense. He's most importantly, he's so good. And I think we're a great team. I think stylistically, I think our like game styles match up together. And I also just think like personality wise, we're also really a good matchup. It's I think we're pretty similar in a lot of ways on the court and off the court.
Yeah, I know there's a reason why Matt was Ben's first choice when Colin was out. People may say things about Matt's chatter on court or some of the other things, but no one can ever say that Matt is not a good, very supportive partner. Ben loves playing with him, so all this checks out with what we know about him. Is there a plan to play together consistently?
There is, yeah. So it's weird because we were committed to the first 6 months of the year together, and we were going to probably play more than that, right? Like, it was going to be first 6 months. If it goes well, we just finish the whole year together. But then the whole merger thing, or sorry, the
non-merger.
Yeah, the split happened.
The demerger.
Exactly. So then I was like, okay, well, I texted Tyson. I'm like, let's just run it back, Tyson. And I wanted to do that. Yeah, that was the plan. And then now there's a merger again. So it's like, well, shoot, I kind of am still, I'm going to probably, I'm still obligated to my commitment with Matt, right? It's just a weird situation because I committed to Tyson under the impression that playing with Matt wasn't going to be an option. But I still want to play some with Tyson because I had so much fun playing with Tyson, and me and Tyson did well too. I mean, me and Tyson are coming off. We made the podiums our last 4 straight times together, so we've just been so consistent as a podium team. And we also, I mean, me and Tyson had the best moment. Actually, probably the second. One of the top 2 moments of my life is
really?
Yeah. It was playing with Tyson. That match point at TOC. Literally, like, I could die right now and it's fine. Cause like I literally, it's over. Like, I'm a made man in my mind after that match. Like, it was, I don't know if you saw it, but it was like 10-8. You saw that match point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Take us through it.
Yeah. So like they returned to me, obviously, and I'm like tight on the drop. I'm like, oh my God, I can't miss this drop. Right. Like it's like Tyson literally just did the crowd pop before the point. And then so then the crowd is like, let's go, they're getting hyped. And then Riley returns to me, and I hit the tightest drop of my life. I can't miss this drop right now. Like, it'd be so bad. So I just push it in. I think I sped it up at Riley or something, and it worked. And then they have this high ball, and Tyson thought it was going out. I thought we had already won the point. Like, it looked like it was going out. It lands like an inch inside the line. Tyson somehow hits a forehand and gets like caught in the fence on the side of the court. And the commentator's like, where's Tyson? So I run towards the middle. I hit like a 360 reset. And I don't even know how to hit resets, by the way. It's like, it's not my game, really. And I hit like a 360 reset, come back towards the middle. And like, I'm like literally playing singles for the last 2 shots. And I just like totally almost like blacked out. We won the point, and it was like, it literally just felt like somebody had just injected like, I don't even know. I can't even say. It was just crazy. It was crazy. And I was so hyped. that I actually threw up right after the point. Like,
whoa.
Yeah, like I paddle tapped, and then I went into the corner of I was like, oh God, I'm gonna throw up. I went into the corner of the center court, whatever area, and like I threw up on this little kid's shoe a little bit. Like I was running towards so like I was running towards the corner, and like I'm trying to get alone so I can throw up. And then this little kid's like, yeah, James, like he wanted like a picture. He thought I was coming in to like hug him. And I just throw up on his foot. And he's like, whoa, I'm honored.
He got thrown up on by James Ignatowich. What an honor.
Exactly. He's like, wow. And I just,
right after you won.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know. I actually didn't even get to like, there was like a part of the post-match interview that I missed. Like, it was just crazy. So we got to run it back is what I'm saying. And me and Tyson are going to probably play at least like, we want to do like 7 or 8, I think. I mean, I don't know how many tournaments there's going to be. So I don't know what's going to happen because there was like there was some discussion of like, should we do like splitting it evenly with Matt and Tyson? But like, then there's also the part, well, I was committed to Matt for the first 6 months. So like to split evenly, there's been some people that are saying, well, probably doesn't make sense. You should give the majority to Matt. And I think that makes sense. So I think I'll probably do majority with Matt, but at least 7. I want to do at least 7 with Tyson because we can't end it like this. I got to get at least like 7 more with Tyson. So that's kind of my thinking. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you can top that moment, but I like that. That is awesome. And yeah, it makes some space. I think everyone is sort of in the same boat. A lot of people obviously had to go back and forth with their partners with all the shakeup in the pickleball world. And sorry about that, but in the end, it all works out for the best. And you guys will find a way forward. And everyone's getting paid a lot more. So all in all, positives.
Yeah,
I think my burning question is, who's going to get to play with Sock?
Oh.
You got any tea for me?
I don't have any tea. I don't have any friends. Nobody tells me anything.
Thank God you started dating Anna. That's one friend you have to have now.
I know, right? She better be my friend. I'll make her be my friend. That's all I really got. I've got Anna. Matt Wright is kind of my friend. And at these tournaments, I don't really nobody sees me at the tournaments. I'm known for that. It's almost like a meme. Like I literally like hide in the corner. Like I don't really talk to anybody. So I think there's probably somebody said that Sock might play some with Riley. I don't know. I honestly don't know anything, but I do know that he's really good. He's definitely, I think Sock has he could be, it's weird. Men's is so weird that it's like, I don't know how good he could be at men's. I'm sure he could be top 5, but I just don't know if he could be better than Ben at men's. I just don't, not saying that he can't, but I don't know. I don't think I'm qualified to even say it because I'm not better than Ben or anything, not even close. So I don't know what it takes to be better than Ben, but in mixed, I think he could be maybe the best or maybe the second best. I mean, he's really good. I think whoever does play with him is going to be really lucky. That's for sure.
And do you think that he is so good at mixed and maybe not as good at men's doubles, or you're not as sure about his success there because he can get so big in mixed and use his aggressiveness at the kitchen line? Is that what's making the difference?
Well, yeah, I think that he's still, he's still coming over from tennis. He's not full-time pickleball yet, and mixed just comes first. I got really good at mixed first, and that's how it is with everybody. You see Christian, he's playing great mixed now. And that's how it is. You get good at singles, then mixed, then men's. So I think right away, Jack's going to be great at mixed. And I think men's, I think he'll be good right away. And then I think eventually he'll be great.
Wow. All right. We'll see if your predictions hold true. He's certainly been impressive so far.
I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want him to. Yeah, I don't want him to beat me.
That's right. All right. Well, so you won't be playing any with Riley.
No tournaments with Riley. It's weird, I kind of like beating him better than playing with him.
I heard there was a good bit of chatter between the two of you at MLP. Is this true?
There was. No, I mean, I actually felt a little bad about that. I think I went a little too far. I didn't say anything so bad, but it's tough because like Anna was playing and Anna was going to make 20 grand. And like, that's my girlfriend. I'm looking at that 20 grand, like, well, a little bit of that, she's probably going to buy me dinner or something. Like I was hyped, it really felt like I had money on the match. And, and I kind of did have money on the match. And all my friends were there. They were, drinking some, getting hyped. And my friends were getting really loud. I was getting pretty loud, but we were all just getting really loud and we were going right at Riley. And I think I did a little too much. I think I probably should have dialed it back. I felt a little bad after. I didn't say anything to Riley. I probably should have. I was thinking about apologizing, but I think I went a little too far. Like I told him, I was like, dude, it's not too late to change that grip. Like that forehand is a little suspect and tangled. And I don't know. It's weird because like being a player and chirping another player is not really something that happens too often. And I think I might have had the pass because it was MLP and it was my girlfriend, but I think I went too far. So I do want to apologize for that. But also Riley can handle it. Riley's tough. Riley's a great competitor. I don't think it made him play worse. I think if it was anybody else, I probably wouldn't have done it. But knowing, just how much of a competitor Riley is, how tough he is, I don't think he minds at all. And because he engages in the chatter also. He was coming right back at me. And it was fun. I mean, that was some of the most fun I've ever had at a sporting event. Because it was like I was in the stands and like I actually know the pros, like you go to a basketball event, it's like you can cheer, but they don't know you. They don't care about what you say. But like I'm at a pro event and like I'm talking trash to the pros and like they recognize my voice. Like Riley hears me, he's like, hey, shut up, like that was awesome.
It's true. Yeah. It's something in this sport that like you don't really see in other sports. You don't see other pros going to watch other pros play.
Exactly. So like, I hope I didn't go too far. I think Riley was cool with it. But yeah, I don't know. But I think to answer your question, I'm not going to play with Riley, but I don't think that has to do with that. I think me and him are cool. At least from my perspective, I'm cool with him. I still, he's still the guy that was like, who I watched them play the most. Like I wanted to kind of copy his game. Like I think he's the second best player. I mean, I think he's a total stud. So I hope there's no hard feelings on his end, because on my end, there's totally not. I think he's the man. So.
Well, it's a small world, right? And you all see each other every other weekend. So nursing vendettas is not ever really going to work. And MLP is kind of the name of the game there. Like everyone's talking trash. Everyone's making a scene. We see the most, like, I would say outside the norm behaviors at MLP. And I think people feed off of it. I think they're having fun with it for the most part. So I don't foresee that there's a ton of issue there. But speaking of vendettas, you did get to see, play against Christian, who obviously you have beef with all the time. Tyra in Las Vegas. You and Anna got the better of them. Any fireworks there?
Did you watch that match or no?
I didn't. I heard about it.
Oh yeah, no,
Sorry,
it wasn't.
I wasn't tuning in.
Yeah, no, I mean it wasn't really. I wouldn't say it was close enough for there to be any fireworks, but I mean, there. No, I'm just. I mean, they played great. Like they had such a great day. I mean, Tyra is playing so well. She's getting better so quickly at mixed too, which is crazy because, like, it's kind of the opposite for women and men, right? For men, like, it's singles then mixed then men's. For women's, it's like singles then women's then mixed. Because mixed is more of like, more defensive, more dinking, more soft stuff. But she's already playing so good. And Christian also played really well. I think if you didn't watch, or for those at home, if you haven't watched the quarterfinal where Christian and Tyra beat Riley and Jesse, please watch it. Just as a pickleball fan, because I still love to watch pickleball. That was one of the best matches. I mean, Christian played so well, taking a ton of court. It was just an awesome match. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it was, I would check that one out. So I think Christian and Tyra are both playing so well. I think they're getting better, and I'm happy that they're playing good, because like, it kind of motivates me too. Cause I was always the new person and I'm still pretty new, but now I've got a couple people that are newer than me that it's like, oh wow, like they're playing great too. Like I gotta watch out. It's motivating.
Right.
So.
Yeah. It's not only trying to beat the top dogs, but also you feel the people behind you nipping at your heels, always this sense of pressure, and it's good. That's competition. Yeah. So the top question that people search related to your name is James Ignatowich, Anna Bright.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Why is that?
I mean, I think that makes sense because I'm still I'm the second most famous person in this apartment. That's funny. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I gotta get some better men's results so I can just get out of that shadow.
When is it going to be James Ignatowich, Matt Wright?
Oh, now that's the question.
All right. So other top questions searched about you, besides James Ignatowich, Anna Bright, are your tennis career, where you're from, and your height. So obviously, we have to know, how did you come to be so tall?
It's funny because I'm actually shorter than my dad. My dad is taller than me. Yeah, it's tough. I blame my mom because my mom's like 5'5". So if she sees this, I'm sorry, but that's just, that's exactly what happened. But my dad is like 6'4", almost 6'5", so he's really tall. But I don't think I would want to be that tall because I already have a tough time on planes. Like it's just it's not easy. But I think I like where I'm at. If anything, I think 6'2" is probably the ideal for me. Yeah.
And you're 6'3", right?
I'm like 6'2" and a half. I think I would tell girls I was 6'3" in college. I'm like 6'2".
All right. I mean, all men do that. As soon as they tell you your height, it's like 1 to 2 inches shorter. They're never correct.
Of course. So you got to kind of, you got to adjust based on what everybody else is saying. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right. So tennis career. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't anything really of note. I mean, my tennis career was I was good when I was like 15. When I was 15, I was like top 5 in the country actually on this thing called tennis recruiting. I was like a blue chip recruit. I got to the final of a bunch of ITFs, if you know what that is. Like it's like just tennis junior stuff. And I got ATP points in doubles. I got a couple of them when I was like 16, 17. So I was great when I was 15, 16. And then I committed to college and I just started liking other things more than tennis. And
which things?
I lost some motivation for tennis. I had more fun with, we'll call it like social things. I think I wanted to get more social, and I think I made a mistake because I went to a school that was so fun. I went to Vanderbilt in Nashville, and I joined a fraternity. And the tennis was always, if it was a back seat, maybe from like 16 to 18, which it was in the back seat compared to my other interests. Once I got to college, tennis became like it was in the trunk. It was something that I didn't care about at all. I was, I was in a fraternity. I was, Nashville, there's a lot of fun stuff to do. And I probably did as little as I possibly could when it came to tennis. Like no practice, no extra practice. And when I did practice, I didn't try. I was totally burnt out and done with it. So I only played college tennis for 2 years. And I probably started in like 2 matches. And in the 2 matches that I started in, they were against Belmont, which is like a small school in Nashville, or like just teams that were, and I still almost lost. So it wasn't really tennis was done for me at about 15, 16 is when I peaked. Okay.
So if tennis was in the trunk for you metaphorically in college, where is pickleball riding now in your car?
It's in the front seat. It's in the front. Pickleball is everything for me right now. It's actually crazy because if I treated tennis the way I do pickleball, like just from like a work ethic, dedication, like everything I'm doing, I would have been so good at tennis. It kind of is lame that like now it's over, but it's like, well, I'm glad I picked pickleball because it's not like I would have been that good at tennis. I don't think I would have ever been top 100 or anything like that. But pickleball is everything. Like all I do, I think these days I work so much harder. Like just everything I do is geared towards like being the best athlete I could be. I think my schedule is really, really intense. Anna thinks I'm pretty crazy. Like she's just like, why are you doing this? I'm like, well, I actually I don't know. So Yeah, it's definitely in the front seat.
What's going on with those 2v1s that you're doing in Florida with the guys? Is that more like doubles or singles?
That's like singles training for me, or mixed training. It's like mixed doubles training. So for that video, everybody was at MLP, and I went to MLP a little later. So I was like, who can I play 1-on-2 with? Like, how can I get practice? And that's actually a fun way to practice, is 1-on-2 against like a couple 5-0s. I'll do it. You know, it's good for my confidence. It makes me feel great about myself. You know, beating 2 guys at once is always fun. And I think it's easy to do because there's so many people down here that are like 5-0 level, like great players. And I'm so lucky to be in Delray Beach, Florida, where it's like totally like the mecca of pickleball. There's so many great pickleball players, and yeah, I'm lucky to be in this area. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, my phone has enough battery where I can just finally set it down. I'm so tired of holding it. Oh, we're at 15 now. How did that get?
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm ready.
Look at Apple go. No, I'm gonna release you soon. Don't worry. You're
no, it's good. I have nothing else to do. My ankle's hurt. I literally have nothing else to do.
Perfect. Yeah, when I texted you yesterday, I was like, can we do a Skype interview? You're like, yeah, tomorrow, midday. I was like, I've never gotten such a quick response from a pro and so enthusiastic. I was like, I thought I was going to have to hunt you down.
Yeah, no, I have nothing better to do. Like, this is great. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably watch a movie or something boring. I don't know. It's annoying.
Tough
but
life. Must be hard.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're all pretty upset and sad and just devastated that we didn't get to see you play the mixed final in Vegas, because I think that your mixed matches against Johns and Waters have been some of the most highly anticipated matches. I think everyone sort of has this idea that you and Anna can really do some damage against that team and figure that out. What are some strategies that you two have been working on to maybe finally hit that top spot?
Yeah, I think I think it'll naturally come just with more repetitions and more playing. Because Anna and I are still both so new, especially me. Like, I've only really been playing like pro pickleball with like good partners and really getting into these high level matches for just this year. So it's really only been 8 months, and I think it just takes time to really get used to the patterns where they're just so ingrained and you're not making any mistakes. And the soft stuff too. So like just my thirds, my transition game, dinking, getting better at all that. Yeah, I think for us, like Anna and I are in a situation where we're definitely still just getting better, especially me. Like, there's just so much more room to improve with so many different things that it's like there are some like strategies, but more so I think it's just like getting better at my own personal development, like hitting the serve harder, getting better at returns. I think just kind of maximizing how good I can be, because I know that like my ceiling as a player is pretty high. So it's going to be, I think it kind of depends on me. I think it's on me to become as good as I could be. And like, yeah, I think they've just been playing for so long. They're so dialed in. Like they're just, it's tough. Like with that type of experience, it takes time to beat a team like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know what I think is really going to be the magic for you guys? More split steps.
Oh, more of them? I can't do any right now.
My first question when you obviously announced that you'd sprained your ankle, I was like, was it because of the split step?
I know.
Was it the bouncing?
I've had a few people text me like, dude, you got to stop moving your feet so much. That's why you sprained your ankle. I'm like,
yeah. It is quite like ironic and hilarious that you sprained your ankle, because you're known for the bouncing and the movement, the feet movement. So anyways, not to make fun of your injury, of course.
No, yeah.
That was a lot of people's question, though.
I know.
But yeah, all props to you, though, because I see the boys when they come back from the tournaments, and Colin mentioned that you're going to be one of the fiercest competitors on tour over the next few years, even that he sees you as somebody who really still has a high ceiling and a lot of space to go. So that is it's definitely kudos to you and how far you've come over the year. You've been playing for what, a year and a half now?
Well, I've like playing tournaments. Yeah, tournaments about a year and a half, but that means a lot coming from Colin, because I don't know if you know this. I think a lot of people know this now, but my whole friend group down here, all my friends from tennis, that are now like training for pickleball, they've just become obsessed with pickleball because they saw that I got good at pickleball. They're like, oh, well, if James could do it, I could do it, right? So they're all here and they're all training. And it's funny because one of them's a lefty and the other two are righties that just only like playing the right side for whatever reason. And they are, you'd think like, oh, these guys, because they watch pickleball like 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, they're obsessed with pickleball. You'd think like, well, their idol must be like Ben or Riley or something, or maybe even me, who knows? No, it's Colin. Their idol is Colin. And like, I'm not joking. Like everybody thinks I'm joking, but like I've actually got a picture of my friend and Colin at MLP. My friend Dave, he was like, dude, like I know you know Colin, please just let me get a picture of Colin. And they got a picture together, and it's like they're just obsessed with Colin. Like it'll be late at night, and like my friend Jericho, who actually played the PPA, got to the second round. He's getting pretty good too. He was like, bro, like you got to see this reset Colin hit at like 7. It's like, I mean, they're just infatuated with Colin, and I'm not. Like it sounds like I'm making it up, but I'm not.
So good. Oh my gosh, that makes me laugh. I didn't know that. I hadn't heard it.
Yeah.
Well, I know that Colin has full notes folders on everyone in pickleball. He's got an entire archive mapped out, and on partnerships, players, on shots, on like everything's in there, and you've got a fair amount of clips and notes. So.
Oh, nice! I'm honored. I'm honored that he even knows who I am. He's Colin John.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to leave you alone. One more question. It's been a huge year for pickleball, obviously. You're one of our top pros. You have a real pulse on where the sport is, even though you're still relatively new. Where are we headed next?
I think that, well, this is actually an interesting thing, but I think it's important to say. I think that for men's doubles, if you want to know where the sport is going, you should look at the top. And if you look at the top of the game, the rallies are so long because everybody's gotten so good at dinking and they've gotten so good at hitting thirds and fifths and whatever that like as players get better and better in the men's game, I think it's going to get even slower. That's my prediction. So I'm just plugging my own prediction here. But I think the men's game is going to keep getting slower. Like if you watch Ben and Colin play J-Dub and Dylan, those are the two best teams. The rallies are so long and it's I don't want to say it's boring, but my solution is I think the paddles should be a little bit softer. And I don't know if that should be like just for men's or if it should be all across the board, but I think there should be a limit on the amount of power that a paddle can create. And I'm like giving you my unbiased opinion because I use an 002 and that's like one of the most poppy paddles in the game. I don't think it should be allowed. I don't know if I should say that, but I know that like it should be, there should be like a ceiling. And like, I know I'm just so positive that if in the men's game, the most powerful paddle you could use was like, I'll use a Selkirk as an example, like a Selkirk 006, the one that's just like the regular carbon fiber. Everybody kind of knows that type of paddle. If that was the most powerful paddle that we could use, the men's game would be so much more fun. It would be like the women's game. And why is the women's game so much more fun to watch? Because the rallies are longer. There's the firefight rallies are longer. You can, speed up pretty much anything and you're going to be fine because the counters aren't coming back much harder. But as the paddle increases in power, the speed ups don't really get any better. It's the counters that get better. So if the counters are so good in the men's game and the speed ups, there's always a ceiling to how good a speed up can really be. Then as that balance is outweighed, whatever, there's going to be really long dink rallies. The rallies are going to be so long. And if you put that on TV, I don't know. I mean, I like it because I'm a pickleball nerd, but I don't know who's really going to like those super long dink rallies. So I think we should make the paddle softer and make the men's game a little closer to the women's game because we all know the women's game is more fun to watch than the men's game. And I hate to say it, but it's true. And it's because of the paddles. So that's my thought. Yeah.
I love that proposition. I think that's pretty spot on. And I think a lot of players are actually feeling like that. And I mean, what direction, with the direction that pickleball is going, the paddles are becoming so fast and so good and so poppy that it's actually dangerous. And I know that I sound like an old person saying like, oh, it's dangerous, but it truly is. getting to that point, and it will only continue to go that way unless we continue to crack down on paddles and make it a sport that's fun to watch. You have to think about the end product, right? Where the money comes in, where the sponsors, where the broadcast deals. Everything is about viewership. That's where the money comes. And I think that pickleball is unique in that a lot of the people who love to watch also play. Obviously, if you're watching football or basketball, you might have played as a kid, but you're usually not playing those sports. You just cheer for them. And I think that people in rec who are playing pickleball want to see a product that is somewhat relatable. And, you know, even if you adore pickleball, which you and I both do, I still would rather see a firefight than a dink fest for 50, 70 shots. You know, I love pickleball and I'd still rather see banging. So you can count me in. I'll sign your petition. I'm in.
Yeah. And you're totally right too on the safety thing. And that was my first point. I made that point a year ago, but it didn't really stick. I guess people don't really care about safety.
You were too new.
Yeah. Nobody cares about safety. So I was like, okay, we're going to do a different argument. We're going to take safety out of it. And we're just going to say, look, it's going to be more fun to watch. And I think both of those things are true, but I guess maybe the fact that it's more fun to watch could be, make more people get behind it. But I don't know. That's all I got to say.
That's it from James Ignatowich. Yeah. Thanks for coming on and talking to me. We get to give Pickleball World an update on your injury, and there's a lot of other fun stuff in here, possibly even more exciting than the injury. So.
Oh yeah.
I'll let you know when it gets posted.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, James.
Yeah.